Good morning, bird. Well, welcome to your usual roosting spot. Hi, buddy. I actually don't know if this is Bird. I feel like there's more black on this cat than Bird usually has, but we'll find out. It's here earlier than Bird usually is, and it didn't go to Bird's usual spot. So I think this is one of the 3 near identical black and white cats who apparently come visit us. That's so cool. Somebody in the comments actually said that they feel like our little beautiful garden that we have here, our little patio filled with cats, is kind of like a real life Neko Atsume, and I thought that was so cute because it really is very fitting. We have no control over these kitty cats, so we just leave some food and water out if they choose to partake of it or not. They don't always do that, but they do come and hang out, and it's kind of fun to think that maybe they'll leave behind some little treasures, but hopefully like the little treasures will just be happy sightings of them and not any of the birds or roosters. What would you do if a cat brought a rooster to our patio, darling? Like a whole rooster. I'd keep him and name him Harold. That's what I call all of the roosters. But it's really fun, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge to tell the difference between them because our landlady did say that there's several cats who you think you're seeing the same cat, but they're here all day long. And then she finally realized if you look really close, there's several different types of the same coloration of a cat. So we're going to have to get really good because I don't think that was Bird. That was kind of a skinnier cat, and I feel like there was more black on that body than Bird has, and it didn't go to Bird's usual spot, and it's here a couple hours early. So we're going to keep an eye out, see if we can find some more kitty cats. All right, it's starting to come together slowly, but coming together. It's so much harder to record in a new place than I thought it would be, but I just keep telling myself I'm not allowed to freak out about recording somewhere new until I've done at least like 12 videos and they've all turned out like, oh my gosh, this is not my usual quality at all, oh no. So I'm just tweaking things a little bit at a time, making sure audio levels are good, making sure that like I try to reposition things. Like I was talking about yesterday, even when like you sit down to start recording and working, I haven't realized how much of my setup at home is so physically comfortable for me. Everything is right where I know it's going to be. I don't have to think about it. I can just move and pick up things. I can kind of shift this way if I need to speak at a louder tone. It's amazing how much of the physical environment makes up my work that I've really taken for granted until now, but it just really makes me want to have like a permanent office, a permanent home base where I have my studio, whatever I'm going to end up creating. Maybe I'll become like some sort of pottery creator as the years go by, and 20 years from now I won't be a YouTuber. I'll make like a really adorable little clay vases for, or is it vases? Vases? I'm getting a blank stare from him, so who knows? Who knows? For flowers, who knows? Like, I don't know what I'll do, but I'm just really realizing I love creating things, and that there's definitely something to be said for taking the time to invest in the right kind of setup so that you feel like you're at peace and you're in harmony with your studio. And I currently am just like, I regret nothing about my chair. I regret nothing about like the stuff I've bought to organize my workspace, and it feels really good. And now I'm realizing why like actual doing workspace and studio tours are like their own whole little niche on YouTube. And I kind of feel like I want to watch some, like get all these Pinterest ideas for how I could go home and totally just make my own office and my workspace blinged out. But for now, this is my workspace. This is what I have. I'm very happy with it. I've got my rowlet in the window. I've got my roses that Chips got me in the window, and the chipmunk card that you guys saw me totally cry opening up on snail mail in the window to cheer me on as well. He's my stand-in chipmunk since there are no chipmunks here in Taipei, but there are a lot of roof cats. And actually I just recorded the first episode of the niche Amazon challenge that we're going to be doing, and it was a little bit bumpier than usual for me because it's a new tribe, have to introduce a new concept, have to introduce the new rules, and try to weave a story from the fresh start, which is always exciting for me, but it doesn't lean back on the legacy of a longer story like the Yukir tribe does, which if you don't watch niche, it must sound like I'm just speaking in tongues right now. But instead of being distracted by birds landing at my window or things like that, I'm distracted by the cats landing on top of my roof. So it's kind of like a tin roof on half of our roof and a clay tile roof on the other half, and the cats will just suddenly land on the tin roof and it'll be like, "Ba-bang!" bang. It'll sound like when someone slams closed a dumpster lid. Like if you're walking downtown and someone's like throwing the trash out in their restaurant and they slam down the lid. It sounds like that, but right above my head. And then you'll see some kitties pop up on our patio. And it's so much fun because it's like out of the corner of my eye, I see a cat, and I don't see cats in my daily life back at home because I am, you know, on the second story. I see birds, which is very, very exciting, but less distracting for sure. So I keep seeing these awesome cats walk by, and I just want to like look at them. I want to be like, oh, it's a cat, but I'm in the middle of recording. So I have to just really try very hard to focus. So it's just all these different distractions, this entirely different environment, this different setup. And I'm really enjoying the challenge of it, but it's definitely something where you have to just have confidence that you can see it through. And I could see how this would be really intimidating if you weren't used to doing as many videos as I am used to doing. But everything's starting to click together, and I'm just patting myself on the back because even though I'm normally quite like nervous and a little anxious to try new things, I've found one of the truths, like big truths of life, is just to go forward and try it, and just keep as long as you keep your feet moving and you keep your arms moving and you do the action rather than sitting before doing the action, things normally work out. So I'm gonna keep pushing myself to record more, and we might pop down one of the other things I take for granted back home is that we have like an endless supply of La Croix that we keep in our kitchen, and it really helps to have something sparkling or fizzy on my throat. I've been drinking my hot tea, but there's just something about something fizzy that helps me to record as much as I do. So if you're also a YouTuber or you also record and you're trying to do it marathon style like I do, up to like 8 to 12 hours a day sometimes using your voice, take care of your voice. Drink hot tea, make sure you stay really hydrated. I have my water bottle somewhere over here. It's hiding behind my Yeti, and I go through that thing all day long, which is interesting because we have to buy bottled water here, so we go through like these giant containers of bottled water 2 or 3 times a day. But just stay hydrated, and also try to find something that's within an affordable range for you and healthy for you, that's kind of fizzy, because something about sparkling water just really helps to soothe my throat up and help it to do all of those big batch recordings. I'm actually feeling my throat's a little bit sore just from one recording because, again, posture of where I'm sitting is totally different than I am at home, and just getting into the habit of doing it again. It's like when I used to teach in front of the big classrooms full of kids, and you had to build up to being able to do the gigantic speech in front of 300 kids 2 or 3 times a day. All those little things that you really don't think about, but I guess that's one of the really big perks of traveling. Hey bird, are you taking a nap out there? It's so hot today. I'll make sure you have plenty of water if you want it. But otherwise, just enjoy your usual spot, my friend. It's so fun to have you there all day, huh? Time to go. No, I don't want to trip and fall. It's so far down. We're so high up. Oh dear. So many of the little wafer rolls. Ah, these are cool. Look at these little puffs. That's so fun. You don't really see like custard pudding puffs. You don't really see snacks like this back home. Oh, I think these might be vegan. They're fruit chews, and they're really good too. Pikachu is selling deep sea sparkling water, and there's Snorlax right over here. And Jigglypuff too. Man, my brother would love this stuff. I love asparagus, but that's kind of pushing it a little bit, don't you think? Asparagus drink. Alright, so we got some fresh apples from a little convenience store downstairs, and some Jiffy peanut butter, believe it or not. The same brands that you can get back at home. And I've got my peach tea in a fancy new cup that Chip's got as some swag. And it's kind of awesome. I'm sitting down. Well, I mean, there is all of Taipei out there, and I'm sitting here with apples and peanut butter and peach tea, just like I would have at home. And I just thought that was really funny how, yes, I do want to eat more exotic foods and try things out, but wow, I didn't know that was so hard on your stomach to try out lots of new foods at the same time. So it's kind of nice to have the same familiar snacks around all of the new taste and new meals we've been eating. Lunchtime! This is what Chips has brought home today. It's like he goes out and he brings back treasure for me while I am currently processing some vlogs. But he has brought home some vegan pot stickers today, which look really freaking delicious. And some of the passion fruit juice to enjoy. So I'm gonna try some of this with like the garlic soy sauce you can get it with. But I have backup regular soy sauce just in case. But another, I mean, this entire thing and a second one the same size for Chips was less than $3. That's how cheap this kind of grab and go food is. So it's actually more expensive to buy it and cook it at home yourself, but hopefully we'll find a few more healthy options, like some more of those delicious steamed vegetables and rice from the other day at the buffets. But it makes a really great quick lunch, and all you have to do is just like pop downstairs, go outside and turn left or right, and boom, you're at tons of different food vendors. It's kind of amazing. There you are, bird. I was wondering where you've been all day, and it turns out, as Chip said, I just wasn't tall enough to see you. Hi! I know, there you go. But Bird hasn't been in Bird's spot, and it turns out that Bird has been just like right under the window, and I'm just not tall enough. So Chips walked by and he's like, oh, there's the cat. And I was like, what? So I had to climb up on the sofa to see him, but Bird's been hanging out down there. He was with me after all, darling. Darling, look, Bird has gone back to Bird's spot. Oh, he is such a pretty cat.
He is a pretty cat.
I like you, Bird. Oh, look at his little face. I just saw somebody walk past behind Bird, and it freaked me out.
Who was it?
It's somebody in the apartment building all the way in the distance. And I was like, who's on our roof? Oh my gosh. Bird! That's where you hang out when you're not over on top of our deck, huh? You just hang out on the big empty part of the roof. You know, I personally think that our area is a little bit more scenic, so you're welcome to come back whenever you want, okay?